Hi, I'm Rebecca Hoyt, and I'm from McAllen, Texas. My husband John and I were on season 3 of Relative Race, and we were Team Black. We raced from and back to Washington, D.C., finding family I never knew I had. Nice to meet you, bud.
I am your mother's sister.
You're Aunt Kathy.
I am.
We competed in challenges against 3 other teams in an attempt to win $50,000, and we won.
You are the winners of Relative Race.
Thank you.
Since the show ended, John and I have divorced, and he moved to Virginia, and I moved from Texas to Utah with my 6-year-old daughter, Parker. So I got a call from the producer that I worked with on season 3 of Relative Race, and he explained to me that they had a job opening for Relative Race, and so I applied, and I got the job, and ended up moving to Utah to work for the company. I started working for Relative Race as a production assistant, and slowly found that if I worked hard and tried to learn the business, I could move up, and I did, and now I'm the unit production manager for the show. A lot of my daily duties include logistics and casting and the finances for the company, and I really enjoy being behind the camera and kind of giving back to other teams the gift that I was given. I think he does not know what it means to have a father.
So do they make our top 12?
I came to Utah not knowing anyone. I didn't have any family, I didn't have any friends. The lead genealogist for Relative Race, Tristan Tolman, she reached out to me on Facebook. She had originally done all my family history work when I was on the show.
We met in person for the first time at lunch, and at that meeting, she told me that she really didn't have a place to live. She was just staying with a relative of a friend temporarily while she tried to figure out what she was going to do. And we happened to have an apartment as part of our home, and so I offered it to her and said we had some extra space and that she'd be more than welcome to come live with us.
After I moved in, I quickly established a relationship and a bond and a place of belonging. And her family became my family. And suddenly Utah didn't seem so scary anymore.
It has been an amazing thing to watch Rebecca develop these relationships with her family and also become a part of my family at the same time. Over the last year and a half, we've had Aunt Kathy here to visit a couple times, and we've had Carrie here. And so I've gotten to know all these relatives that I actually found, which is crazy because now I'm able to see firsthand what it means to actually reunite a family.
It was a crucial part of healing and coping with the loss of my marriage. But because I had my family that I met on Relative Race, and I had Tristan and her family, it made it so much easier. I came on Relative Race to find my biological mother, Karen's family. She fell down a flight of stairs when I was 2 years old, hit her head, and ended up passing away. A little while later, my biological father remarried to a woman named Susan. She ended up being murdered by him. He was convicted and ended up in prison. After my dad ended up going to prison, I was taken in by his sister. And at that point, I didn't know anything else about my mom, Karen, or her family. And all I had was a few pictures left. On day 1, I got to meet my cousin, Carrie.
I'm on your mom's side. We're first cousins.
Wow.
Carrie is the first relative I have met on my mother's side, who is the daughter of my Aunt Kathy. Did your mom know much about my sister and I?
Yes.
Did she ever want to find us or
She did.
see us again?
Mm-hmm. Our parents talked about you quite a bit.
I also got to meet her on day 1, too.
We never gave up on you. We always wanted to be in your life. So glad to hear.
I waited 32 years to see you. On day 2, I met Kathy's son, Bud. Nice to meet you, Bud.
I just can't express enough how much this means to me as well as the rest of my family.
So my Aunt Kathy and my cousins Bud and Carrie all live in Idaho, so they're a really short drive from Utah. Having my aunt and my cousins in my life has changed me and them dramatically. When my cousin Carrie comes to visit, we lay in bed together at night and we end up giggling and talking until 2 in the morning, and it's almost like a sister relationship.
I have talked to Rebecca almost on a daily basis. She is a part of my life, my everyday life. I talk to her all the time. She's like my big sister. Rebecca has blended into the family. It was immediate. It was almost like she never left. It was almost like she's always been there. It's just priceless.
And my aunt has become a mother. She has stepped in the place of her sister, my biological mother. When I first moved to Utah, I ended up getting sick and not feeling so well, and she immediately came down here to spend time with me, to help me feel better, give me my chicken noodle soup. And to me, I felt in that moment, this is what it feels like to have a mom.
Since Rebecca's been back into our lives, I feel like I have a piece of my sister. The first time we got in the car and I was sitting in the back seat, and I kept staring at her big brown eyes, and it's just, that's my sister. And she's got my sister's heart, she's got my sister's spirit of adventure, and it's having a big piece of the family that's been missing. It's been real healing.
My aunt is so loving. She opened her home and her heart to me and has taken me in as if I was never missing from her life to begin with. I feel my mom through my aunt, and she is happy. On day 7 of the race, I met my half-sister, Chelsea.
My name's Chelsea, I'm your half-sister. It's so good to be you.
We share the same biological father, but different mothers.
You look just like us. Yeah.
We had been separated since we were about 4 or 5 years old. We knew each other existed, but we hadn't seen each other since we were tiny children.
When you know you have a sibling out there, it's like a hole that gets filled. When you get to see your sister, when you've known of her your whole life. And when I was finally able to get Rebecca in my life and to share with her just everything, it felt like she just gave me. She gave me back what I needed.
Since the show, Chelsea and I have had an amazing sister relationship. We've tried so hard to make up for all the times that we missed growing up.
Being able to get to know her and be with her and just have good times with her, it's the best feeling in the world.
Having her as a sister and a friend has been life-changing.
Having Rebecca in my life has been incredible.
So a year and a half ago, I met Kyler.
Yes. Oh, I like that look.
We started dating, ended up falling in love, and he proposed, and we decided to get married. So of course I invited every family member that I met on Relative Race to our wedding, and they all showed up.
Love leave me blinded, like the morning sun, falling in your ring.
We're gonna do it over and over in the dress. No, but at 100.
We stay with me here until the embers fade.
It's amazing. It's crazy. Like, all of her relatives who I participated in finding, all those people are going to come together to love her and support her on this new chapter of her life, all in my backyard.
Oh, my wedding had so much love. There was so many feels. My aunt and my sister and my cousins and my great uncles and my Uncle Ken came, and there was this feeling of overwhelming love and support like I have never experienced in my life.
We are so excited. I get to walk her down the aisle. When she first asked me, I couldn't talk for 5 minutes. I was crying so hard.
Loudest silence, simplicity. Tell me what's forever to eternity.
Having my family there felt so good. Having my aunt walk me down the aisle in place of my mom was something I never thought that I would experience in my life or could expect.
See what my sister walk down the aisle is going to be amazing. I'm just gonna be like, yay!
Being at her wedding, seeing her walk down the aisle in her dress, it's like being a part of something that I missed out on the first time.
I've been baptized by your fire. So when you say my name, it's like a choir. Your love takes me higher. I'm ocean deep in your desire.
I think of my sister, if she's able to look down from heaven, she would rejoice so much to see all of her family brought together.
Almost all the members of my family were wearing these yellow roses on their shirts. It was supposed to be to bring my mom to the wedding because her favorite flower is a yellow rose. And it was the most touching thing they could have done.
The loudest silence, simplicity. Tell me what's forever to eternity. With pure emotion, I overflow.
I'm so grateful for Relative Race. I can't even put it into words.
Do I let it show in the afterglow that I'm falling for you?
To think that I would have never had this chance. It kind of breaks my heart to think about. Because to know your family, to have all of them together, I finally get that.
Ocean deep in your desire. I've been baptized by your fire. So when you say my name, it's like a choir.
Relative Race has changed my life in every aspect of it. From finding my family and fulfilling a hole and bringing a peace that I didn't know was possible, to helping me start a new life from a divorce and finding a new job and a new calling and a new way to help those around me. It also helped me find new friendships and has impacted every part of my life, has been changed for the better because of Relative Race.